Greetings and welcome to another Let's Play here at Areg Gaming. Today we are playing a game I can only classify as legal crack, because that's how addictive this game is. It's City Skylines, which is a city simulator developed by Colossal Order and published by Paradox in March earlier this year. So there are of course several mods available for this game. We are going to play with a couple of mods just for the sake of this Let's Play, so we're going to have unlimited money and some mods that improve traffic, some mods that enable all buildings and stuff. We're just going to jump into a new game real quickly. Oh, and for you British people out there, or if you live in a part of the world where you drive on the left-hand side, you can actually select left-hand traffic for your city, which is a nice touch, I think, but I don't like left-hand traffic, so I'm not going to select that option. So let's jump into a new game. Now, of course, I'm going to try and keep this video short, so I can't really build a proper city. So I'm just going to show you how the game works. So let's just connect the motorway here. Now, when you build a road, it's important that you start off in the direction the traffic is going. Otherwise, traffic will go in the direction that you start from. So if I'd started building the motorway here, for example, and then tried to connect it up here, it would just be a waste of money because the traffic would then go in the wrong direction. Right, so as you can see, along the road here we have several little squares. These are zones, and in these zones you can build several types of buildings. You can have low density residential zone buildings, high density residential zone buildings, low density commercial, high density commercial, industrial zone buildings, and office zone buildings. And as you can see on the bar here, that there is the high demand for residential zone buildings. So we're going to build high density residential zone buildings. So you just click on the zones and the game will automatically build these buildings for you. I've accelerated time because this takes a bit of time to build these things. There we go. Buildings are starting to pop up. Now, of course, every city needs electricity and water. So let's build an electricity producing building. So you have the option between green power and traditional fossil fuel and nuclear power. So you can go with like wind turbines, you can go with coal power plants, oil power plants, hydro power plants, solar energy, and nuclear power plants. I'm going to go with a nuclear power plant. If you do go for a solar power plant, remember that during night it produces no electricity, so you need to have a backup. Otherwise you are screwed. So we need a water pumping station as well, of course. When you build your water pumping station, it's important to build it as further up the river than your sewer drain pipe, Because if you dump your sewer into the water and then pump the water further down the river, then it goes without saying that your water will be polluted, which causes unhappy citizens. It also decreases their happiness. Sorry, I already said it. Decreases their health. That's what I meant to say. Can't build on water. There we go. Build power line there to connect the electricity produced by the nuclear power plant to the water station. Then we need to connect that to the sewers as well, which again is connected to all the houses, which should mean that all houses now have electricity and water and a working sewer system. So one of the mods I have is that is the automatic bulldozer, which automatically removes abandoned and burnt down buildings. You can do this manually, and it's not too much of a hassle when it's a small city like now, but when your city grows into a metropolis, it becomes such a hassle to go around and manually destroy these buildings. So, great mod to have. So as you can see here, the game shows you how much electricity is being produced, how much is being consumed. Same with the water and sewage. And then you need somewhere to dispose of the city's garbage, of course. So we're going to go ahead and build an incineration plant. You can build a landfill site as well, but as you can see, they're bigger, so they take up more space. And they also have a capacity. When the landfill is full, you have to empty them, and that takes a long time. So I definitely recommend incineration plants, even though they do cost more. But incineration plants also produces electricity. So that's another reason to get them. And of course, every city needs healthcare. So you have the choice between a small medical clinic or a hospital. I'm going to build a hospital because they have more ambulances available and more doctors, so they can have more patients and stuff. And then you also need to have death care, so to take care of the deceased. So you can build a cemetery or a crematorium. The cemetery has the same problems that the landfill site has. It has a capacity, and it takes up quite a lot of space. And when the capacity is reached, you have to empty it, and that takes a long time. So go for a crematorium. They're small, doesn't take up, and they don't have a capacity, so definitely recommend a crematorium over a cemetery. So we need a fire station as well. You can choose between a firehouse, which is cheaper but has fewer fire trucks, or a fire station, which has more fire trucks, of course. So we're going for the fire station. And then we need police as well, so you can go for the police station or police headquarters. The headquarters have more police officers and more cars, so going to go for that. And then you have public transport. I'm sorry if I'm talking so fast, but it's just so much to this game. So you have the bus depot, and then you can build bus stops and create bus lines. So, if you always hated your local bus line, now's your chance to show that you can do better. So you see buses going already. You can name your buses, your bus lines. You can give them different colors. Let's have red buses. Why not? You have metro stations. It's a bit pointless at this point because our city is still so small, but let's just build one for the sake of it. And there we have it, our first metro line. You can also build train stations. Train stations are of course dependent on existing train tracks. So there was some train tracks here, as you could see. There we go. So if we build train station here, for example, then you need to build tracks to connect it to the existing tracks there. And now you have the normal train station, which is for normal people and for tourists and stuff like that. And you have cargo, the cargo train terminal, which is for the industry. So the industry requires resources and such in order to produce goods. And the cargo train station is a good way to provide resources directly to an industrial area. Because if you don't use cargo trains or the cargo harbor, then of course the resources have to be transported by trucks and stuff like that, which causes more traffic and more congestion on your roads. And then you have the harbor, as I mentioned earlier. Harbors can only be built in certain areas of the map. So again, you just open the map and look for the outside connections. So you see here, this area has ship connections. So now we can build a harbor there, and a cargo harbor there. So the normal harbor is for tourists, and the cargo harbor is for, you know, materials for your industry. And then you have airplanes, which again is for to bring in tourists. Now for some reason, airports only work in certain areas of the map, even when it does say on the map that the area has plane connections. I noticed in my city that I built an airport, I think it was on this very same map actually. I built an airport here somewhere, and there were no planes landing or taking off for some reason, and then I built another one down here, and then it started working. So if your airport is not working for some reason, just move the airport into another area. And then you have education, of course. You have elementary school, you have high school, and you have university. And then you have parks and trees and stuff like that. So let me just see if I can find the noise level pollution. So buildings, industry buildings and commercial buildings produces noise, as you can imagine. So the red buildings here are the culprits of the noise pollution. And to reduce the noise pollution, you need to either build parks or plant trees. because more noise pollution makes people unhappy. No one wants to live in a noisy area. So if I wanted to reduce noise pollution here, for example, I would build... Let's give them a Japanese garden. And gardens, of course, also increases happiness of people. Then you have unique buildings. Buildings that are some of them are based on buildings in the real world. So for example, the London Eye here. Just connect power. So there are several unique buildings here that you can build. If you don't play with the mod, these unique buildings are required in order to build the monument buildings, because the monument buildings give your city substantial bonuses. The fusion power plant, for example, as you can see here, produces 16,000 megawatts, which means that you would more or less never need to build any other electricity producing building. See, we're now producing 16.6 megawatts. But the thing about these unique buildings is that some of them require special objectives to be met before you can build them. So again, I recommend that you play with the mods to avoid having to do this, because some of those objectives, or criteria I should say, are painful to meet. Actually, they screw you over, some of them, if you meet them. Like some of them include like having a deficit for like 20 weeks or something. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Like it will take you days to recover from that. Like real world days. Buildings, of course, can level up. When they level up, they can house more people if they're residential buildings. If they're industrial or commercial buildings, they produce more goods and sell more goods, which again improves your economy. Did I build incineration plant? Yeah, I did. Oh yeah, because I didn't connect. There's no way to leave this part of the city, of course. There. So now it's possible to leave the city, or this part of the city. Should probably build like a road here as well to connect. Like that. You can create districts as well. So you see, you just created Park District. You can set policies and taxes and city planning boosts for the district, which is separate from the overall taxes. You can set the overall taxes at around 11% before people start getting upset. And then you have your budget. You can control the electricity budget by day and night, water budget, garbage budget, healthcare budget, etc. You can take loans that have interest. So you can see here there's some 50% interest, but if you do have the money, you can just pay it back right away. So of course, if you reduce the electricity budget, for example, it reduces the amount of electricity produced. So you remember earlier we had 16,000 megawatts being produced, but now it's only 4,000. So it saves you money by reducing the budget. Of course, if we do need to increase it later, then you just increase the budget rather than building new buildings. think I've showed you everything now. So yeah, citizens in the city will continuously tweet at you either their opinions or their problems or whatever. It's kind of nice or fun to read them in the beginning, but it does get very old eventually because it's just the same tweets all over and over again. Although there are mods you can download to make them more realistic if you want. Of course, this was a very brief and quick overview, but I don't think the learning curve is too steep. The game does give you hints and tips all the time. And you can start with unlimited money if you want to, and then disable the mod later. Why are the buses going up here? Anyway, once you do get into it, this game will just hook you because it's so much fun. Like when I first started playing this, I would actually go to sleep thinking about how to solve certain traffic congestion hotspots and stuff like that. It's just, yeah. Beware if you do decide to get this. It might take over your life. It's really addictive. So I think I'm going to end it here. Maybe next time I'll show you my proper city. The city that I play on normally. So you can see the population of 99,000, so it's a proper big city. Not in like real world terms, but in this game, 99,000 is a lot. So what did you think of the game? Do you already have it? If so, what do you think of the game? Are you going to get it? Let me know in the comments below. Would you like to see me do a full Let's Play series of this as well? Where we start from scratch with a city and build a proper city? Then let me know in the comments below. City Skylines, of course, available on Steam. There is an Xbox One version planned as well, I heard. But at the moment, it's only available on PC. If you do plan on getting it, I recommend that you wait until December when the Steam holiday sale begins. This game will probably be on sale then, so you can get it cheaper. There's also DLC available for the game, so if you're interested in that as well, I'm sure there's a bundle pack where you can get both the game and the DLC for a reduced price. But again, wait until December for that, for the sale. If you liked this video, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Until next time, guys, take care.